Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore. Wait a minute, this music isn't right, the scene isn't right. Hang on. That's more like it. And now it's time for the show for all creatives. Nevermind the Furthermore. Your source for conversation, inspiration, and fun. With your host, Nicholas Anthony Tockert. He's an artist, a writer, a swordsman, and a game designer. He knows how to use the sword and axe in historical battles without anybody getting hurt too much. He's also the Manatee Man, master of marketing. And he may even have a guest or two. One thing, though, to be certain. Just don't call him a cryptid. With that, it's about time for the show. So sit back, enjoy, and have some coffee and chat with us.
Good morning, Nevermornings. I'm not blowing your ears out because I'm listening to Donna, who may or may not have frozen. She is indeed here, and I'm not using an image. See, it moved. I don't know if I am freezing or she is. We are dealing with a massive event. However, welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore. I am your host with the most, Mr. Nicholas Anthony Tockert. We are joined by Aunt Donna, Donna Carlene, the incredible author, and as soon as this technical problem works out, we'll hopefully be able to chat with her. While we wait for that to work, because
Are we going?
I heard something from you. We are live.
Okay. I don't know what happened, but it went zunky on this end.
Oh, must be the snowstorm.
Must be. It's coming down in all directions now.
This may be an exciting one. We're gonna make it work because both of us, one or both of us are going to have our issues. So before we talked about Donna, I do have to do a limited version of paying my bills. So I'm gonna pay my bills real quick. In that, please support Joe Bachman over bit.ly/jbtechapps. He does all the app work for me and several other people. He is building some amazing apps, even if he does lean too hard into gradients as icons. He does this to torment me, but that's okay. I love him. And more importantly, he's working on indcd.org. That's the Independent Creator Directory, the place to get sort of a white pages for some of the best small-time, starting out and established but not as well known creators, authors, artists, game designers, musicians. If you wanted to contact Dan Hollifield and didn't know how, go to indcd.org. You want to get a hold of Brian K. Morris or Donna or me, indcd.org. It is the place to go. All my stuff are made possible by my on Amazon at www.amazon.com/author/Nick Tockert, including Art and Tales, my latest publication, Art and Tales Volume 1. I would love to make this an annual project. But, that being said, I'm not important here. There are two things important. We'll briefly cover one, and then we'll get to the juicy bits, what you really want to know. Our friends, the Hales, have incurred a horrendous medical debt. And if you wish to help out, please www.gofundme.com/f/love for the Hales. All right. And cue the.
And so he freezes. Are you back yet?
Well, you see, if you can hear me, the the
Hear you now.
train shakes the silo. The silo has my internet cell tower on top of it, from which I gained my lovely, totally reliable, brought to you by, I believe it's called Y Power, internet. Uh, and it sounds like they're hauling seed. Larry and Dave. I say Larry and Dave because those are the names painted on the sides of the engines that run our route. I
Oh,
they literally have the name painted, so I know it's Larry and Dave. Okay, so Donna, assuming that they can hear you, there's gonna be a lot of assumption going on. Tell folks why you're important and why you're special and why why you think I brought you on.
well, my name is Donna Carlene. I am an awesome writer of a few different genres. Um, you can find me on Facebook under Donna Carly Carlene. You can find my books on, okay, you can find them on the Zon, you can find them on Barnes and Noble, but I really prefer that you go to lulu.com because I get more money from them. Is that like um, greedy enough? What else do we need?
Oh no, only what you feel comfortable with, because part of the reason I brought you on, and we're gonna go into the comments. And yes, guys, I know you guys are doing lots and lots of comments. I will warn you, because I have a guest. I will be both skimming a little more rapid through the plugs. That please do your plugs, but I will be skimming them a bit because we have somebody in the house who we have a lady present. Now, that all being said, one of the great things about Donna is she's one of
Where's
the
the
few
lady?
people. Well,
I thought I was on here.
you're great, Donna. You are amazing. Don't see. I was about to say she's the only person in my circle who doesn't have rampant imposter syndrome, and I don't know if we've infected her, but I've
No, I
watched
just know what I am.
this. No, nothing wrong with that. I think that's beautiful. My knife is heavy today. Oh, it, it's really nice to see somebody come at this with genuine confidence, not the I'm going to be. I'm being confident. I'm being confident because I'm expected to be, and they're dying inside, or they're shoveling so much BS their eyes have turned brown. You know, it's really
Well,
good to hear. People who are positive about what
I
they do.
that's I give that to my parents, especially my mother. I'm an adopted child, but it was emphasized that I was wanted, not thrown away by somebody. I was told that I could be anything I wanted to be, including President of the United States, which back in the 60s, telling a girl that was probably like anybody else would hear my mother say that, they'd laugh at her. A woman being president? No. Uh, I'm the youngest of three children. My brothers are, one was 11 years older. He's passed now. The other's 9 years older. And I was carried on a silver platter for most of my life. Uh, between their friends, I had about 20 older brothers who all thought the sun rose and set with me. So is it any wonder that I got this like big head about how wonderful and important I am? They supported me in whatever I wanted to do. If I wanted to sit and read, I go ahead, sit and read. Uh, I may want to write the stories that keep going in my head. So my mother bought me a children's typewriter. So I grew up knowing how wonderful I am.
Well, and that is frankly a rarity in the stories I hear when people talk about their creative origin story. Now, one thing I like to try to kind of hold the bolster against is this myth that you have to be an alcoholic to be a writer. Although for a large number of people in our circle, it helps. Um, but also, there's this mythos that you can't be happy and be a writer. You must be working through intense trauma, and you are of the people I know. I'm trying to phrase this right because I'm thinking in Nickese, and until people know how to speak Nickese, it's really easy to misinterpret it. But you know what brings you pleasure, and whatever it is, you pursue it with a zeal that I find oddly delightful. How am I still getting pinged? I've turned devices off. Is this was turned off? No wonder we're having internet problems. Hold on.
you know, while you're doing that, I could answer that question.
Please do.
Uh, I was brought up that it always felt better to laugh than to cry. My father had a leaky heart valve since he was 9 years old. When he was 19, with two young children, he was told he was going to be dead by the time he was 25. Uh, Found Carl Clinic then, and the doctor said, "I can't cure you, but I'll try to keep you alive until we can." He was 55 when they put a pig valve in him. This was only supposed to last a decade. His lasted 12 years. They put a mechanical life in him, a valve in him, and the man who was supposed to be dead at 25 lived to be 77 with 17 great grandchildren.
That is an amazing story. And
But
I
yeah,
love that defiance that I'm big on defiance.
yeah,
Like I tell people, my coat gets real brown real fast, and
yeah. But this means that every day that I got off the bus, I never knew if my dad was going to be there or be in the hospital or just be dead. On top of this, I spent about 23 times in the hospital myself from the time I was 4 to I was 14. And my mother's like, "Yeah, okay, you're sick again. You're going to get better. Don't, you can't be a, oh, ho. You got to do what you do." And people hear about that. They go, "Oh, you had such a sad childhood." And I'm like, I had the best childhood ever because I remember the good stuff.
right.
I remember that every time I was in the hospital, my mother went down to Huey's and got a bag of comic books
Mm-hmm.
and brought them to me. I got white chocolate every time I went to the doctor's. How can you not remember good stuff like that?
That's beautiful, and it's almost like you're leaning into the way to not just escape syndrome, but a lot of our problems is to have a positive perspective going in and gratitude coming out.
Hmm.
And I think there is a tremendous wisdom in that. I mean, and it's a wisdom we don't hear enough of.
Well,
I, I
like I said, it's when Dad had his first heart surgery, he had some friends that tried to talk him out of it. They're like, "You could die." And he looked at him and says, "You don't understand. I will die." if I don't have this. I've
Right.
got to take the chance. And that's something that has always been, I guess, ingrained in us kids. So you've got to take the chance. You've got to take the chance to live, to do what you want to do. Keep it up.
Okay. And what I totally agree with that, and I think that's wonderful. I do want to comment that apparently we are having our issues may not be entirely through either of our internet, but something is going wrong with Facebook. So we are
Oh,
not currently broadcasting to Facebook, and it looks like it's on their end. If that's the case, folks, I'm sorry. Please reach out to the good folks on Facebook, and we'll figure something out. I'll share the link of this done when it's done, and but I just want to apologize to folks. But that's great. Now, before we get into the insanity that is the chat, and it's so delightful, Donna. I mean, really, because I can
yeah.
use the voice on you while you're here. I can just sit there and say, "How are you?"
Ooh,
And
yeah.
yeah, see, I like things. I like melted butter. I like smooth jazz. I like
Mm.
things to be easy and mellow, and I like to keep the mojo in the dojo. But I usually only get to do this while you're in the chat and I'm here. And friends, it really is a privilege to turn on my smooth jazz voice just for a while and get things going.
Mm.
Because I wish I could get away with talking like this in public, but when I do, unfortunately, people get kind of melty and guys get awful punchy. Something about making their wives weak in the
Hmm.
knees. But I
Just
had
know
to
that
do a
when you
little bit
do,
of
I'm sitting here like this, listening to you.
it's so nice. You see, I have a frighteningly high voice, even now, if I'm using my radio slash production voice, compared to my family. My family are all like baritone. My brother's a bass to baritone, and my dad is basically poured gravel,
Yeah.
basso profundo when he sings. So, which is incredibly rare. So, this is what being the squeaky member of my family sounds like. Well, maybe my scale of testosterone is a little off sometimes, but I'm gonna look in our chat and see who's here. And you know what? It's reflex, Donna. I reflexively I go into the chat and I know I'm gonna say hi to Donna because I'm going into my chat, so I have to drop the voice. And we got Carl Witzman. Happy Wednesday at 9:35, guys. Thank you for making it a little gentler on me when I have a guest. I appreciate the courtesy. And oh, what's this? We have Donna. I'm getting Donna in stereo. Both Donna of the past and Donna of the present. Friends, I am winning this Wednesday. She's greeting Carl, which is fine. And we've got, oh, let's see if I can see this, if it will show. There we go. This show and Lord Nicholas got praised last night on Tidbits and Scribbles. Author Michaela Jade's YouTube for being good about getting promos out early and posting shows early on YouTube. I really do appreciate that because I do work hard to maintain my schedule, and I'm not paid by StreamYard, but I will certainly tell you that their service is worth every cent that Joe Bachman pays for. Um, but we do try to keep things consistent with everything but my floating art show, but that gives it a certain charm, I think. And thank huge shout out to Michaela if she's in the chat. Thank you for supporting me. And thank you for promoting this program. Not because of my stuff, although my stuff is pretty darn cool, but because this chat, let's face it, is the coolest chat online. We have the most amazing bunch of people. Now, Donna, feel free to wade in on anybody you hear while I'm doing this. Because we got hello, special guest. We've got your feline surveillance. If you don't know, you weren't here. But the feline surveillance was getting butter at 9:40, and that's important. This is now forever on the internet that at 9:40 a.m. on January
They love
25th,
their melted butter.
there was melted butter for those cats. And He's in my window watching the strange white rain fall. Oh my gosh. In the words of Donnie Dulas, not the green room, folks. Yes, I know. I'm with Donna, and I've got the sarcastic / radio voice that has been known to come up after I've done my live stream on the Historical Fencing Guild 8 o'clock on Friday nights. As Brian would say, hashtag always promote. But, let's see, better to be indoors, sipping hot coffee, and watching morning motivations at Nevermind the Furthermore. Live the dream, folks. I know I am. Good morning, Aunt Donna. And anyone, if you have questions for Donna as we get going, feel free to ask. Because I have some questions for her still, but I want to get through the chat so it doesn't get too lengthy at the end. And we are joined, one moment. We are joined by our fearless leader, Brian K. Morris, the man, the myth, the legend. Good morning, Brian.
I would put one caveat on there. Be careful what you ask because you will get the answer.
And folks, it's going to be... I appreciate Donna's control, knowing we keep this as a safe for work morning program. And I am very, very happy to see her. So let's click the quick. We've got greetings, and we've got greetings from Brian and greetings from... And we will pause to say, all hail Donna. And it's not just because they fear the wrath of Duma. But yes, Donna has of late, not many people know this, she's got some modeling credits because I put the model credits for the fan art I have done for her, the little cartoon Donna, as Donna Carlene. So yes, you have actual modeling credits. Put that in your resume and spin it. Anyway, good morning, Dawn. Good morning, BKM. We got all hail everyone, past, present, and future. That's right. Hello, popping into chat while I knock out a book or two. Pick it up and lay it down, Michaela. Okay, Donna, I'm working on the next episode of Pieces right now.
That's good.
You heard it. That's good. Michaela.
Get that story done.
Yeah, see? A huge shout out to Richie because... Remember, people are getting things done. Anyhow, Donna's one of those people who brings out the best in me, and I do absolutely love it. Because it's like it pulls it down. Just like all the fail-safes start falling away, and I feel like taking enthusiastic walks. But very few people will know the reference, but those who do. Great Michaela, way to go. Okay, we got greetings, and we got support, and greetings and support. And Michaela cracked her whip. I got to get my tushy in gear, but after NTF, or when I can get on the computer, LOL. Dawn, do you need your own laptop, or even a Chromebook? Are you lacking computer stuff? No, because I like my 43-inch monitor.
Ooh, not the green room. Not the green room.
Uh-huh. Nice. Monitor envy. Yes, I have an old TV that when I get behind the screen cleaned up will be my backup / possibly art box. I don't know yet. I may set some things in motion to make my life a little nicer. Morning, Donna and Nikki. It's what I get for adding E to her name. Good morning, folks. Hope everything is going well. And I know a surprisingly large number of Dawns, both normal and golden, that keeping the individual Dawns straight. And then some Dwans, which are filed as Dawns under my name, my head, because speech impediments happen. And I have a hearing impediment too. I'm just generally impeded. We're joined by Grant Lankard. Grant, I would run your ad, but I try not to run ads much when I have a guest on. So I may do a bunch of ads at the very end, or if Donna tells me she needs to go to the bathroom or something. I don't want to make her use the hail pail, and we should make Amy either, so be sure to support that GoFundMe. Anyway, was not able to see his dad's birthday because wow, you're snowed in. How much snow did you get? Carl shuts down all extra tabs to save interwebs for Donna. So now we know what happened, because all this, that's 10:04. Yes. The truth comes out.
That
Thank
Witzman
you,
dude.
Carl. Shouldn't he be bringing you coffee by now? Anyway,
He did just before the show,
good man.
so I have a almost full cup.
Oh, you're so sweet. See, no, that's really appreciated. Oh, Joe forgot to switch back to this account, but that's okay. You can like me on both accounts. I've been known to do that. Uh, and folks, if you haven't liked this channel, we have Donna on. What are you looking for? You're not going to find content like Donna drinking out of a mug as the computer freezes up easily. No, you won't find that kind of quality. Let's see, we got greeting. Okay, I'm going to fast scroll. There are a lot of greetings. Tower on the silo? Yeah, it's Green Acres Tech right there. My gosh, we'd have methane-powered mecha out here. Why or why, LOL. Oh my. Anyone who wants a Mooney update? He is eating and still cuddling, but he's not moving much. We have to bring his food to the couch. Well, Mooney is in our thoughts, prayers. I'm sure someone in this group is going to light a candle and mutter to things either known or unknown, speakable or unspeakable, to try to help that cat along wherever they need to be. I love associating with the interesting people I do. With weather today, I'm just going to hop in the back of the studio in case tech goes awry. Well, whenever you choose to, you are always welcome. Sending hugs. Check out Donna's books on Lulu. bit.ly/Donna Carlene. Yes, I wanted to make sure that
Bitly
worked.
address.
And we have... I'll be able to now do this as well. bit.ly/Donna Carlene. Ooh, it rolls.
Yes.
Very rain in Spain. The only problem is whenever I do that, I lose my place. So it'll be just a second. There we go. Not bad. I managed to get there before the comment dump. Got poor Mooney.
Yeah. He's our Mooney.
Donna's best books. Show explicit content when you go to Lulu to see her books. Yes, folks, remember, Donna is as spicy as they come, and for some of us on a cold day, just looking forward to making a big old pot of chili, a bit of spice is really welcome here.
Hey, it's called The Seduction of Lily Monroe. Of course there's sex in it.
And I love that the major arcs are covered in the Witzmanish household, in that you cover the sex and some of the violence. Carl covers some of the violence and a lot of the creepiness. And you guys just keep that balance of all the things that are good to eat, like intellectual munchies at 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
It will keep you up one way or another. Now, moving on.
That's true.
Not the green room. Mooney is a great cat. We've been trying to spend as much time with him as possible, so he knows how loved he is. Excellent. Oh, Grant, keeping Mooney in our prayers. From across the pond.
Hi, Glenn.
Oh, Glenn. Yes, because I know he's going to say, Nick. And, we love that boy. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You have my condolences on that, Dawn. I did not know there was a George to match Georgette, or else I would have drawn him as a stately Regency gentleman. Hey, Glenn. And check out Donna on the Independent Creators Directory and find her links to Lulu. INDIECD.org/about Donna Carlene. Yes.
And this is a great directory because we're all in there.
Yes, it really is. And if you are interested in joining, this is a great time to do so. And now we know where Donna gets her spunk. Oh, God.
I believe that's when I was telling the story of my childhood.
I understand the reference. It's just, guys, I'm challenged right now. Because seeing Donna on screen to me means, normally I see Donna like this. The only time we get to chat is about a half hour, 15 minutes before the green room's supposed to start, when I'm getting ready for my show because they start concurrently. And I get my show up, and then I hop over to the green room and I check on everybody real quick. And then for the first hour of the green room, I go and I talk how to sword fight, and then I come back and find out what I've missed. And there's usually a pile of hashtags at least knee deep. But and thank you guys for hosting that and giving us that place for whatever that room becomes. Mooney is only a couple years younger than the oldest cat in the world, so wow, okay. That's what we strive for too, Grant, to give our cats the best life they could.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Not you. I'm yawning because there's a storm front coming in. Okay.
And I'm yawning because he yawned.
It's contagious. Oh my. I wonder what
Oh,
else
yes.
is contagious. You know, it's funny if you keep the mojo in the dojo long enough, everybody feels good. Anyhow, Huey's.
I don't think I can talk like you.
Every person in Champaign County owned a Huey's t-shirt back in the day. It was Ollie's, but even cooler. Something's always going wrong with FB. This isn't news. Normally, I would be less annoyed, but when I have the wonder of Donna, Carlene live in studio for your viewing pleasure, and Facebook is being a fink, I am annoyed. Largely because, friends, I do not broadcast to my own Facebook pages. I only broadcast on Facebook to the Rising Tide Broadcasters channel because that matters. That, much like the Independent Creators Directory, is a great place to be subscribed to and follow. One Facebook works! But because it has to be defective, much like the genetics of some of our politicians, it has earned my ire. And we don't have time for ire. We have Donna. And I get a flirt with her, and that just makes my morning all the better. We got Brian being greeted, and lots of laughing, and there will be a GoFundMe for Facebook later. You know what? Maybe if Zuck and Bezo paid some taxes, things would work better. LOL, I ain't running it, Carl. Understandable. One miracle at a time. Oh, God. What? And you know what? In all vague seriousness, what Brian is trying to do for the Hales, is utterly impressive. It is beautiful, and you are a great, great soul for it. Man, my views are going to be down. Right. What is Donna's next book? Wow, that's a real question. Donna.
Oh, yes. It's going to be the 5th book in the Hunter's Ridge series. It's going to go a little deeper. It's going to go a little darker.
Oh my. So It's going deep and it's going dark. That sounds like a great program, Going Deep and Dark with Donna Carlene. But we're gonna figure that out, and I'm sure you guys are all looking to buy all her books. And you know what? We need to see about getting some audio books so that folks can hear the glory of Donna. I have plans. And what's Donna working on? Well,
not anything. Donna's been unmoved for about almost a year now. Sadly to say.
Okay. So what can we do to move you, Donna? I mean, I know things I can do to move you, but that's not really show quality. What can we do to help, grease the mental wheels and just lubricate the whole process of creation? How can we make you feel more creative?
I'm not sure. I have one story that I had written, but I wasn't happy with because I didn't think the timeline was long enough. And all Carl had to say was, the wreck needs to be first and then go back and tell the rest of it. Like, okay, I get that. And I wrote the prologue, but I'm like, I still have to figure out the timeline because it's supposed to be like a month, but it only reads like a week.
Ah, keeping track of time is really challenging, I think, especially when you start writing multiple books and you're trying to keep
Hmm.
a setting going.
I
Because,
yeah, I do have an idea for the Beth and Hill series,
oh,
which when I was up at Wabash gave me the idea because there was another author there that I'm like, what would happen if somebody killed her?
you know they say write what you know.
Well, if you've never read the Beth and Hill, besides the day job that she has, she owns a bookstore in Chicago.
Oh,
So I'm thinking the manager is going to want to put the bookstore on the web, maybe on Facebook. Beth gets into writers groups, and that's how she gets involved in the murder.
well, that sounds delightful. Actually,
And that's
I
as
am.
far as I've got on it.
Well, that's far more than most people get, and sometimes you just have to do the literary equivalent of scribbling around on a post-it pad to kind of free yourself up,
Hmm. Yeah.
because you know very rarely I find our writer's blocks all directional. You know, there's usually an edge to it. So if you find the right way to turn, you can go somewhere else for a while. This is why I have so many incomplete books, but very few people see the ones I'm working on. Uh, but that's a good one to throw to the chat. Chat. How do you get out of your writer's blocks? Do you just write something else with a prompt? Do you uh, go on some type of spirit quest to meet your alleged spirit guide, find out that it's a winged hound from the Middle East, and then promptly forget how the heck you did all of that a few years later?
You got to watch those spirit guides. I I had a character in Beth and Hill that I really wanted to kill off and only ended up seriously wounding her. So she's still alive. She's just not in the storyline anymore.
Well, I mean, you could always just write a story. The many ways so and so died, because I associate with Luke Stone and Randy, and I lost Randy's last name,
Zimmerman.
Zimmerman. But and that's just names fall out of my ear, tumble on the floor, and slide down the register. It's just the way my mind works. Uh, could I draw the guy? Yes. Could I give you his life story? Yes. Could you get his last name out of me on the right moment? No way in heck. But and they both had either, depending on who you talk to and how, near death or actual death circumstances. It could be fun to write a character you dislike just frequently dying and getting fixed by the paramedics for in different ways, like and having chats with death. You're here again. Yep, you sticking around? Whoop, nope, guess not. That could be very. My humor tends to lean towards the Douglas Adams or Terry Pratchett. Sometimes it gets a hold of me when I don't expect it. So writing something like that, it might just jog you loose, and if not, somebody should, because I think it's a good idea. And uh, my plate is way too full right now with what I get to do for several projects, but I'll let that plot bunny loose for adoption. Any of you all want to get it? I'm a notorious plot bunny breeder. drives my wife nuts. And you know what happens if I get plot bunnies and I don't adopt them out? You get tiny short stories and images, 25 of them in a book, because I didn't know what else to do with. But okay, let's see. We've got a big old comment dump. And yes, oh, good, good, good. So let's see if we guys. Well, okay. Brian has a question. Why, Donna? Why?
That could
So,
apply to so many things. I mean, why write? Why be married to Carl? That one I don't have an answer to. I
I've
mean,
seen him get
be
up and
more
turn away from the
specific.
camera. I know why you married Carl. Anyway, but no, Donna. Yeah, why? What? How are we gonna spin an open ended why? Why did you write? That's a delightful question.
I have to. I never really wanted to be a writer.
Mm-hmm.
I think it started about fourth or fifth grade, whenever Lost in Space was on. It would be on Wednesday night. Thursday, we'd go for a lunch break and out to play. And there was a group of us who would reenact the show from the night. And I was the one who did not have a character. I was the director. No, you have to say this. You have to do that. And that just kind of rolled. In sixth grade, we had to keep a journal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of that journal may not have been true. I just wrote down whatever come to mind. When I was in eighth grade, I wrote my first fanfic for Star Trek.
Nice.
When I was a freshman in high school, I wrote my second fanfic for Man from Uncle.
Nice.
And then um, I was published a few times in the local newspaper with my poems. I went into I got to do a writing class in high school, and I think that's where I got to putting things down on paper in stories. Uh, our last project was to turn in a short story. My short story was a novel.
Uh huh.
I'm thinking the teacher didn't even read that because there were no comments anywhere in that, but there was an A+ on that thing.
A plus by word count. Nice. Nice.
And
That
I,
or they just really liked it but didn't know what to say because that happens too.
she was an opinionated person. So I mean, she was from Texas, so I'm pretty
Ah.
sure if she'd read it, she'd have had an opinion.
So.
Um, she introduced us to round robin writing,
Mm-hmm.
where someone would start. There were two of us in the group who were experimental writers, you might say. The ordinary people started out with a picnic, and it was so nice and dull. And then it got to Teresa and I, and we turned it into a satanic ritual.
Oh god. Oh, see, stories like that are how I know I'm around my people.
Oh, we had to write one where you had to show what was going on simply by the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So I did a couple fighting, and then at the end they make up. And I didn't put any names down, just a conversation. And at the end I put, let's not fight anymore. I love you, Michael. I love you too, Steve. This was back in 73, 74.
Mm-hmm.
It made an impression on the teacher.
That is beautiful. Oh, that is. Oh, that is scary because I may have pulled very similar stunts.
Yeah. And then I don't know. One day I sat down and I wrote the First Hunter's Ridge story, and I liked it. And I liked the second one, and I had 7 of them within a year. The seventh one, Uncle Carl is not going to be happy with.
Hold on for a second, Donna. You're roboting pretty bad. It looks like sounds like you froze up, and I don't know if it's you or me.
And
So,
I'm
let me
hearing
try
you
something.
fine.
Okay, I'm gonna do this. Not that there's anything not to see. There's no great secret here, but that cuts the strain on Streamyard. So we'll go through, and I'm keeping an eye for Donna's video to open back up.
Okay,
Streamyard
yeah,
pulled up.
looks
That okay. We
okay.
have another. We have another question. How did you write seduction? Did someone ask for it?
No. I was reading a book called um, Women and Our Bodies or something like that. And it also had a historical part to it that
Mm-hmm.
got me really, really interested in what it would be like to be a spinster at that age and to finally find love. Because in the story, Lily is 36 years old and has never known a man. And this isn't a spoiler in the book, but she ends up shacking up with a man in Chinatown.
Mm.
And actually she's hiding there from somebody and they fall in love. You I had a lot of research finding out, okay, water closets, did they have them at this time? What kind of indoor plumbing, if any?
Mm.
Uh, what kind of condoms? Because they did have condoms back then.
Yeah. The historical research is always a challenge that people don't realize good fiction authors have to go through.
Yeah. Um, and so much of it does not go in the story,
Right.
but you have to do it. And if you don't, there's going to be somebody out there that calls you on it. I had a pair of friends who did romance,
Mm-hmm.
and in one of their stories, they highlighted the organ transplant, uh, how that happens. And they put in the medication for this heart patient and they misspelled it. And we're talking about a word with 105 letters.
Of course.
And they got dozens of letters saying, you didn't get it right on this medication. It was misspelled. I mean, how many people would you think would know that who read romance? Evidently, a lot.
It's fascinating, and I love. Here's a tip. If you ever want views and you don't mind looking like a yutz on camera, all you have to say is say something and make a mathematical mistake. It's been proven one of the best ways to get rapid feedback is to make a spelling error or a mathematical mistake, and people will crawl out of the woodwork to correct you.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't want that kind of environment. So, I try not to, but it was something I noticed watching my analytics that, all I have to do is make a mistake and people will share and go, "Oh, this guy said the wrong word," or so,
Hmm.
it's something to think about. And for the literary field, I will say sometimes the typo is all that saves me. Because if I get into a good book, I don't know if anyone else is like this, I'm not getting out till that book is done sometimes. And I mean the whole up all night because my dumb butt bought one of the it was like the sci-fi book club would do those omnibuses.
Mm-hmm.
And I managed to get a hold of one, not directly from them, of like the first 3 or 4 Laurel K. Hamilton books for Anita Blake Vampire Hunter, which is not safe for work. It starts out not bad, but Miss Hamilton goes through certain explorations in her life, and it reflects in her book, and she becomes extremely sex positive and extremely spicy to the point where a couple of the books I was actually following the plot, and I'm like, okay, there's 6 dudes. Let's go through it. And I'm not even being farcical. I don't even remember that character in the middle of this puppy pile, but okay. Oh, okay, there's some plot, and they're balking again. And
Yeah.
But before she kind of went that way, and I'm not bashing her at all because it looks like she's coming back to reset to the median. The first few, I blazed through those, and I mean, I was reading them at a point in my life where I probably shouldn't have been. Toward the end of high school. This is spicy, nice spicy content. And then got in trouble in early college because, not only did I find it, but I made a joke. And I'm a sucker for an inside joke. And I referred to my then friend by a reference, we'll say. And she went, no. And she held up her hand and I froze because I'm like, how busted? Oh, am I in trouble? And she goes, have you read this? And she pulls this book out. And I didn't realize, right, because I knew them by the omnibus names, not the individual book names. I'm like, oh, you read Hamilton? So I was both busted for being overly affectionate to the girl I liked. And, we instantly, and it like jumped us that next level because, one, we had something else to talk about, and 2, it was an intensely spicy something else to talk about. As, two bibliophiles just really getting... So, yeah, I love a good book, but I'm going to tell you those goofy typos if you ever feel bad. Because every book I've ever printed out, no matter how many times I've had editors, I will find a typo. I opened it, saw the last page, and I'm like, it was supposed to be foot, not food, but it still works. But a typo like that is the only thing that'll snap somebody out and remind them, holy suck, I haven't eaten in 2 days. And I know that might be me being all kinds of neurodivergent over here, but I think any of us who've gotten into the deep passion of truly reading a good book. Mm-hmm. And you gotta be careful with Donna because she'll write that way, and then you might lose a weekend. The whole adult warning. It's not like just that it's spicy content, friends. I gotta use a term, and Donna will understand. I mean it in its more literal sense. But dang it, if she isn't one of the most delightfully hedonistic writers I've ever known, and one of the most delightfully hedonistic people I've ever known, which is saying something, because I travel in some pretty spicy circles. As part of why, getting someone this interesting in front of the camera is really good. And I hope you guys, while I've been prattling, I see the comment dumps coming, have some great questions and comments. So I'm going to hop through that, and feel free to wade in on anything or interrupt anything. You do not need to be merciful with me, other than keeping it, safe for work as much as we can. And of course, if this starts to run long, just let me know because we are
Hmm.
through the first hour in about 5 minutes, which that's nothing when we get going. So I don't want to feel like, pull you from anything, but you're not holding me back from anything because it's Wednesday. That's why I do my interviews on Wednesdays.
Same here. Um, no, I will not argue with you. Not on Facebook, not on other. I've got no time for silly arguments.
Right.
I had a post one time and somebody called me on the meaning of a word. Not now. Not with that snow out there, Don. Gonna be springtime. I don't even go out in Danville. But anyway, I don't remember what word it was, but it's a word that a lot of people don't really know the meaning of.
Okay.
And and they call me as no, it means this, and I'm like, no, it don't. But I'm not going to argue. I simply went to Webster's, copied the meaning, and popped that sucker in, and I said, that's the end of this. I will not reply to this anymore. I used it correctly.
I'm sorry. You referenced something that brought up a story. That I love that we can do that online because doing it in person is much. It's perceived as much more petty.
Hmm.
I had a history, social studies teacher who was talking about something, and I can't remember what it was. I'm like, these are overly draconian policies, and it's not right. Well, Mr. Tockert. Yes. You do not need to make up words to try to sound impressive. And
Okay.
everyone's laughing, and I'm like, oh, really? And he, bell rings, they leave, he goes, seriously, Mr. Tockert, we get you're smart. Just stop. You think you're smart. I looked at him, this matter is not settled. That's not something that comes out of a freshman most times. It's fine.
Hmm.
Go home. I did not go for the Webster's. I went right by the family Bible. We have the Oxford Dictionary, my
Hmm.
parents. About this thick. I know this is expensive. I require to take this to school with me. And my dad's like, and why? Because I need to put someone in their place. Oh, don't damage it. Don't lose it. In goes the like 40-pound book. Come in. He says, teacher starts talking. I said, excuse me, sir, before I have a question, I have something to do. Yes. BAM! Slam that on the desk, open it up. Draconian, referring to Draco. A historical individual was known for cruel and excessive tendencies. Oh, as it, to describe laws that go beyond their reach. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I making up words now? Whomp. We lost the whole class. They were uncontrollable for the rest of the period. 45 solid minutes of chaos.
Yeah.
I know people, Mr. Talker, that was insubordinate. Disrespectful. I give respect where it is, where it is given to
Hmm.
me, sir. You're the one with the degree. I thought you would know your English. And walked out. But you see, I like people who are. I try not to be petty. I keep stories like this as a. You see how much better I am? Letting things go is much more mature. I wasted a lot of time. And it's great to see that, Donna. Because you're sitting there, no, no, no. I could have not done that, but every once in a while, the I get my tail twisted, by the my dad calls it the imp of perversity. Like the something just twists inside me for a moment. It's like, okay. And what's great is in the green room, I've watched that exact expression where I'm like, oh, someone has said the wrong thing to Donna.
Yeah. And when Aunt Donna says shut up, you better shut up.
I shut up and I pull out snack goods because somebody's going to get schooled and I'm going to get entertained. Alrighty. Um, Grant Lankard says I should check out Donna's new book. I enjoyed her Woodstock book.
Thank you.
Let's see.
Yes. My new book, Waiting on a Star.
That
Not quite as sexy as Woodstock, but it's a good read.
well, and not everything you write needs to be of the same genre. Uh, I, what all genres do you do? Romance.
I
Are all your
have
books
two of what I call crime drama romance, Hunter's
okay?
Ridge and Bethan Hill. Basically about the two characters in there, but Hunter's Ridge, I guarantee you at least one body drop a book, at least one dead person. Bethan Hill, action in every book. Those are my, I would say, PG books.
Mm-hmm.
I have 12 books out. Eight of them are PG.
See,
Only four have sex in them. But for some reason, I'm the sex girl.
there is so much delight in that phrasing. Oh my! Oh, that hits my black little heart. I'm a sex girl. Oh, I just. Oh Lord, I know someone's going to clip that and use that against me, and that's okay. I understand what is set out. And the nice thing is, I have a reputation enough where if somebody said that, it's like, oh, it's Nick. But how do you feel about that? I mean, I'm interested. How do you feel about having a rep of Spice? Is it that you're just that good at writing Spice?
I must be. All I can say is I didn't set out, well, except for the seduction of Lily Monroe, I didn't set out to be explicit in the other books. But in Woodstock Dreams, Madame Starlight, she is a freestyle, free love lifestyle child of the 60s, and she never went beyond that.
That is such a. Okay. See, this is one I love to unpack because the lifestyle of the 60s, and something just fell, uh, it's fascinating to me because my dad was a Vietnam veteran. So my I don't know how to put this. My opinion on the hippie movement was rather colored by how they treated some of the troops coming back
Hmm.
for a long, long time, and it took a long time to kind of step and see both sides of it. In my teens, but fun day. Um, but then you said she never moved beyond that. And see, that little clause at the end is where I find delight. Because where one of the questions I was going to ask is how much you inject yourself into the books that you write. But when you
Probably a
say
lot.
when you say she never moved beyond that, what do you mean by that? What would be beyond the hippie movement and or not moving beyond that? I'm curious for you.
um, okay, Woodstock Dreams, actually three authors. We each took a character, and their style is reflected when they write about their character.
Okay.
The three meet at the original Woodstock. They're reunited at the Woodstock reunion. However, two from the original have, shall we say, grown up.
Okay.
One becomes the typical um, mid class housewife and mother.
Mm-hmm.
The male leaves all his hippie notions behind and becomes a promotions dude. He's got a publicity business. But she is still the girl who reads the tarot cards.
Ah,
She's she still goes. She doesn't wear anything under her clothes.
gotcha.
And if the thought comes to her head, it's out of her mouth. She's just she's never changed. She's, as she says to one of the other characters, it everybody considers it's the dream. It's not a dream, it's a life, and I'm still living it. I've never lost the magic.
That. See, I I find that fascinating because the concept of the magic. I'm one of those people who lives in fear that I would no longer be able to hear the sleigh bell.
Mhm.
Polar Express, the little bell. But which I use as a sort of litmus test mentally. And how much of that character reflects how you feel about your life? And I literally turned off my phone. It should not be. I mean, you saw. Anyway,
Yeah.
when I say tech hates me, I mean tech hates me. Uh, but power off, power off. Yes, please.
I guess I'm a lot like Madame Starlight in the idea that I never sold out.
Mm-hmm.
This is how she kind of looks at her other two friends. You sold out, you joined the regular society. You're not the person I knew back at Woodstock.
Right.
And she still is. I except for the fact that I was shy as could be, believe it or not, until I was in college.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm pretty much the same person I've ever been. And unfortunately, when it comes to my mind, it comes out of my mouth. My husband will tell you that.
Well, um, with the highest respect, anyone who knows you for any length of time could tell you that, Donna. Uh, and I do. That's part of the reason why I enjoy your company so much, and I value your opinion. Because, first off, you think fast enough to respond quickly and still be eloquent, but you also do so without any. You play all your cards on the table,
Hmm.
and it's always. It may be blunt, and I grew up in a household where that was. It's still exceptionally, brutal honesty is far too subtle for the Tockert family. Like you need almost barbaric honesty to get how I grew up.
Hmm.
But so I take great comfort actually in that because there's no or very little angling. There's very little. You're not playing it towards something, so there's no background to have to pay attention to. I don't know if that makes sense. I find
It
talking
does.
to you very relaxing because with most people, the back of my mind's always I'm reading what's going on behind the mask that I'm not supposed to see, either through the micro expression cues or vocal cues or just the weirdness that is Nick. Uh,
Yeah, but it takes a little. Well, it takes a bit of work, if not a lot of work, to do that. To have that mask on, to say things that you don't really mean. And I'm the first person to admit it. I'm lazy. I'm not going to do that work. Uh, Back in college, I had a boyfriend, and some stuff happened, and I thought, I'm going to stalk him.
mhm.
That lasted a day because stalking's a lot of work. And I'm like, that's too much
I
work.
mean,
I'm not doing that.
I find it delightful because I love. I have a very ingrained moral set and rules for myself, and part of that is I don't extend my rules to other people. And I delight sometimes in finding people who are unabashedly, like I said, hedonistic. And with you, it's like kindness is almost an act of sloth because it's too much effort to be uh, to be angry with someone,
Hmm.
and it's such a sideways way to get to a set of behaviors that at their core I agree with, and I delight in the authenticity of actual authentic people being someone who is of a faith that very many unauthentic people I feel claim and then do the mirror opposite of. There's a lot of hypocrisy
Hmm.
to the point that it's given bad press to what we're supposed to be doing, in my humble opinion. But to see you just open up the way you do, it's so refreshing because I've watched you and Carl. And Carl is one of the most delightful ethical atheists I've ever met.
What? He's a what?
Ethical atheist, as I
Ah,
understand things. You know, whereas you are a variant pagan, which I hope that's not something I'm not supposed to talk about.
mm,
But um,
I'm a Norse.
thank you for using Norse. There is another term for it that sometimes is used, and it's not that I don't know it; it's that I know I mechanically can never pronounce it, so it just lodges in my throat. But
Asatru?
that's probably yes. That's
Mm-hmm.
uh, you also find that certain names relate to that sort of thing, and the name will never come out right anyway. So I try to avoid it to not accidentally offend anybody, you know. But I find the absolute sincerity refreshing in this world, and I hope that people who are writing can learn from that. And even if you can't speak your truth in this world of frankly, you can get canceled for saying the wrong thing pretty easy anymore. In your writing, you can do it. And one thing about Donna is all her writing, everything I've seen of her, is what you see is what you get, and that is a good thing. And I don't want to harp on that, so I'm going to go down to the next couple messages. We've got Carl saying dawn. I would say perhaps Northwoods Mall while Michaela is there, but not with snow on the ground. Aunt Donna will not come out until morning. Don't forget to like. Yes, please like, share, and subscribe because I'd like to promote Donna in more places. Glad to hear that, Grant. Great morning to you, Carl and Dawn. Yep, and not the Green Ring. No going in dark and deep yet. That's right. What is Hunter's Ridge? That's wonderful.
Hunter's Ridge, a crime drama romance about a northern girl, a writer, who moves to Alabama, walks in on a uh, robbery, gas station robbery, and meets the love of her life. a Southern cop, and that's really about it. And she can't keep her nose out of trouble. She kind of becomes their specialist on this small town police department because that's her specialty, either writing mysteries or writing true crime.
Ah,
And so she can tell them what this person's going to act like, or what they can expect to happen, or
don't
and
no,
yeah. But
no.
it's
This sounds
mostly about BJ and Carly.
okay. So and see that's one that's real close to like the genre of things I tend to live in a lot. You know, my I've read a lot of romance, and a lot of men are ashamed or afraid to mention that. I spent a lot of time with my wife and my mother-in-law. We all lived together in the same home for some time, and the place was literally littered with different books. And the trick was you could read whatever book you wanted, but you had to leave it where it was and not move anybody else's bookmark and mark your own. So we always had 3 or 4 books going, and one of my fantasy books would be rotating through, or a sci-fi adventure, but a whole lot of different romances. And I've gotten to the point where I find people accuse romance sometimes of being cliche or formulaic. And I laugh because these are the same people who would watch sitcoms that literally hint when you're supposed to laugh with a laugh track,
Hmm.
Uh, I there's comfort in the formulaic. And usually the thing about most romances is the vast majority, except for we have to do the depressing Romeo and Juliet bit again. Witness my joy. Is they usually have a fairly happy ending, and I like going in that it should be. Most of the characters you like are gonna make it out okay, usually. And
Usually.
the other thing I like is this is romance. I see romance as a genre I see best applied as like it's good peanut butter. It's good it is good chocolate to the peanut butter of, a mystery or an adventure or something like that. And cuz it's good by itself, but sometimes it can be a little cloying. You get that chocolate peanut butter, you get the Reese Pieces of a good romance book. Candy coating of a little comedy there.
Hmm.
I'm a fat guy. Yes, I'm a fat guy, and I'm using fat guy analogies,
References.
but I think
Yes.
it works. Now, Dawn says, I hope the white crud is gone by then, but Carl asked a question. It apparently is an in question. Will Beth and Hill ever visit Hunter's Ridge? I think Carl must be bucking for a crossover.
Oh my God. I never thought of that. I don't know. Do you really want Beth and Carly to get together?
Oh, God. I know so little about this, and yet my brain is going, oh, yes. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just feeling utter waves of chaos rolling off of just the expression. And the other thing that's delighting me is I watched your eyes roll up. All of us authors write up in a tab that's up here. Because I'm dyslexic, I can literally see it like a drop down menu, kind of overlaid almost. And I just watched you go there, and the writer's block like loom, and the cracks, anime style, just start breaking in your writer's block. Like, wait. I think that's something. Hello, darling. Anyway, sorry, I'm a lover of
Hi,
cats.
Cal.
And but I think I think you should write at least that as a little snippet, just to see where it goes in your head. And even if you don't publish it, it might knock loose the clog in your pipes. Now, while you pet the adorable kitty, Brian, that's Brian K. Morris over at Rising Tide Publications at Risingtide.pub. Now, I will interrupt to do a little bit of promotion for Mr. Brian K. Morris. So, folks, be sure to support BKM at Risingtide.pub. And I know I'm going to have to go find that comment that I just did, but it's okay because Brian is working hard to raise enough money so that he can take his lovely, and I mean that wholeheartedly, lovely wife. Sorry, got distracted. Lovely wife home. So hashtag bring Cookie home. Now I'm going to go right back to...
I wouldn't say she was unpleasant. She's a very pleasant person. I felt
Wait.
her very false.
I'm sorry. Who's unpleasant?
The vendor at Wabash that
Oh, okay.
made me think of killing her off.
Oh, yes. So I need to hear which vendor it was who inspired Donna in such a way. I don't think I encountered anyone so as unpleasant because I think half of them were frightened of me. Brian K. Morris is a walking tornado of energy when he is turned on for a con. He's just a beacon of wild-eyed, borderline manic, happy to see you greatness. And some people, and a lot of times these smaller, shriveled, angry little people we encounter make like goblins and hiss and back away. So sometimes he does not catch the full brunt of the idiocy because they fear the wrath of the man with the fez, as should rightly. Brian says, I get out of writer's block by forcing myself to write anyway. I might wind up with something great, and if not, even if I delete my stuff, I'm no further behind than I was. That's a good point.
I have, I think, 9 Hunter's Ridge books already written. Only 4 of them have been published. I have either 7 or 8 Beth and Hill already written. I have probably 24 other stories that could come out. So I don't have to write anything in order to publish every 6 months. And that's probably my problem.
You got such a lead that, wow, that's impressive. I think that's impressive and it's delightful. It does make me wonder how much suffering does Carl have to do the editing, or do you just say here, just knock them out in sequence whenever he's not doing something else? Because I assume you use him as an editor.
Yeah. Every 6 months, I'm like, okay, we're putting this one out. You need to edit it and see if it's worth putting out, what needs changed or anything. And I'm usually pretty good about if I need to change something.
That's...
I had a friend who once said something that has always stuck with me because some writers, are like, oh, no. It has to stay that way. That's the way I wrote it.
Mm-hmm.
And her comment was, my words are written in jello, not stone.
I love...
If the editor says this needs changed, they probably know what they're talking about.
Well, I think you're also coming from the perspective of having a dang fine editor. Because, Carl does not need my praise, but I will praise him. He's one of the 2 best editors I know. The other, of course, being Brian K. Morris. Just ask Glenn Fleming. But I've had some problems with editors in the past because my problem was oftentimes I will write people with a dialect. And I've had people who've tried to edit my work. Well, you miswrote this is not proper English. Like, Bubba's a good old boy who
Mm-hmm.
graduated all the way from fourth grade. There's gonna be some ain't gotten you know?
Yeah, yeah. BJ never met a G that he liked.
Mm-hmm.
It's something. It's nothing. Uh, it's not come on. It's come on.
Mm-hmm.
And it is. He's got a southern drawl, which he sometimes makes even drawlier.
Mm-hmm.
If you understand what I mean.
Oh, absolutely.
Um, the people who don't, who expect him to be just a big dumb cop, he becomes that big dumb cop that can't talk too long and
Mm-hmm.
can't talk too fast too.
Mm-hmm. You want to? You eat yet?
Yep.
Oh, God. But, all right. So we have that. We have some good stuff there. Michaela says, yep, I write something else to get out of writer's block. I find most writer's block is just you are uninspired by the story.
You can't get in that box. This is the size he's trying to get into.
I, I've
Right at
held
my
it together
feet.
pretty darn well, Donna. But that was the most not the green room moment I think we've had all. I'm laughing so hard having trouble getting my voice back. So give me a second, because that you can't get in that box. Do you see the size of the box he's trying? Oh my heavens! Oh lordy, lordy, lordy! Smooth jazz.
Long show, Carl. That's
Anyway,
that's Thursday nights.
well, this is spicy. Kelly Carlisle says, to cure writer's block, I have sex. After sex, my mind is free and clear to make the sentence to further the story. It's just me, but it works. Sue
It's
me.
not just you, sister.
I'm going to keep right on keeping on. This is nice, Kelly. Great idea, Kelly. Do you know anybody? Michaela? Now, I've heard enough about your situation where I'm thinking perhaps talking to the man's doctor and some chemicals or counseling or, you know, light a crystal on fire or something. I went light a candle and wave a crystal and squished together in my head. But, something's got to change because it's never good to leave somebody too thirsty or starving. They make poor choices. And I'm just going to leave it at that because this is, not the morning show. This is the morning show, but it's not that kind of show. Okay. Hi, Kelly. This is why we need that writer's commune. Brian! If you all were looking for the moment that it went off the rails, the off the rails comment came almost an hour ago at 10:42, and we got to it an hour and 28 minutes, almost exactly. For those of you looking to scroll back for the moment where the chat decided we've been too serious. I can see it now. Not now, Kelly. I'm trying to write. Oh, and my brain is coming up with very simple logistical solutions to that problem.
It's called a tape recorder. It's called a voice recorder.
I was just thinking that the way one aligns tab A to slot B can be positioned in such a way that a laptop could still be used. But for other news along that front, seek out the Secret Humor Group on Facebook, and you may or may not get those and other questions. You will get more questions than the answers you are pursuing, and such is the path to sensory, shall we say, enlightenment. Joe says, for me, not thinking about it for a bit tends to fix the issue. During that time, Nick had video issues. I saw Donna just fine. Of course, it makes sense. Donna, have you ever met a person who is also an author who has tried to hurt you and your work? Do you believe in jealousy or envious behaviors on social media sites such as Facebook?
No to the first question. If there has been, I've not noticed them. Uh, oh yeah, I've seen the jealousy, the envious behaviors. I just keep scrolling. If they're towards me, there's this really neat feature because I don't need that kind of stuff going on.
Just as the band hammer, long may it swing.
Yes, all I need is the adoration that I deserve.
It just does my heart good to hear such applied villainy. That kind of comment, folks, is why I will always stand by the line that the Baroness is hotter than Scarlet in G.I. Joe at all times in all inclinations. It just is a fact. And any time to try and tinker with that, you fail. Because that was just straight up, old fashioned, Vincent Price approved villainy. Right there, folks. You hear that? Oh, God. That came from the spirit of Falcon's Bane himself. My God, was that beautiful. Okay, moving on. Dozens of letters about a story error means at least dozens of readers. Absolutely. And Kelly Carlisle is trying to do a writer's commune. That's an intriguing idea.
Kelly, if Carl ever wins the lottery, there's some place over in England that he wants to buy and start a writer's commune.
Well, guys, it just means that there'll be more of you on screen when I stream things, and you'll have to have a system of hanging socks or something. Grant says, is this one step closer towards Brian becoming a cult leader? To which Brian replies, what do you mean becoming, Grant?
Yeah.
See what I said, Dawn? She won't go out in snow because she has good sense. Kelly, the subject of a commune, has been up between the Risingtide writing community more than once with a favorable response from all. Sounds like we put you in charge of the rec center.
Oh,
Now, I love,
these are
I
my
want
friends.
She's my friend. Friends, before we go further in, and I'm sure this is going to just crash, but friends, every once in a while, knowing this bunch of delightful heathens, and I mean that respectfully, does, I've had people ask why I don't go get ordained as something, and there are two reasons. One, I haven't found the right denomination, although I nearly did at one point in my life. You make me want to go monastic and dig a hole and wear a heavy hood and just sit by night praying and muttering for the lot of you blessed lunatics. Because somebody's got to. I swear I hear Shepherd Book in my heart saying, well, I've got heathens aplenty right here. And every time I think it's settled down, y'all go find a new form of degradation for me to keep track of. And Kelly Carlisle responds with,
You do know that Uncle Carl is ordained. And if you really don't want to get married, talk to him about doing the ceremony. 3 times so far. Somebody has asked him to do the ceremony and then ended up not getting married.
that is the kind That is the kind of tidbit that would be in the back of a Jennifer Cruzy novel. You know what I'm saying? That just... Oh, I love... See, that's the kind of character stories you don't hear enough of. Okay, what's this? Brian's waiting in on me. LOL, Nick. I used to get that crap all the time in high school. It was usually phrased as more people would like you if you weren't so smart. So why did I want stupid friends? Mic drop. As a cat warps into scene. In charge of recreation or recreation, depends.
Hi.
There'll be a population boom in England if y'all aren't careful. Right, Brian. That's why I have so few friends, but the right friends.
Exactly.
My response to that one is I am friend to many. Surprisingly few are friend to me. And that's okay. Because for me, it's about helping folks. Dawn says, I hope the snow is gone. Not right now. I just heard
It'll
the
be a
plow
while.
come, boing, 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 and then kumquat. Rutabaga. Moving on. For some reason, I'm the sex girl. Rolls eyes, says Carl Witzman, which is even funnier than me saying it, although I think it's kind of funny. I'm kumquat.
Kumquat is the safe word. Unkumquat is the go ahead word.
Y'all couldn't just use a red light, green light, yellow light system? Anyway.
We do, but that's in a different way.
Anyhow. LOL, Dawn. Brian goes, I thought I was the sex girl.
No, you're the sex toy.
Okay, apparently you're the sex toy. Guys, we'll keep it careful. If she's the sex girl, what is Michaela? A distraction. Moving on. Okay, Carl, the weird sex girl. That should be weird sex girl, not weird girl. Okay. And good morning, Blue Teddy. I'm so
Hey, Blue
sorry.
Teddy.
I don't know how much you caught of all that insanity, but welcome to the madhouse. We are trying to keep things smooth and running. Oh, Lord Almighty. Don't say reignited now. I'm thinking of the last Woodstock. And for some reason, Jim Croce's version of the Ball of Caramere went running through my mind. If you know, you know. If not, get a musical education. There used to be this stuff called music. Moving on. Blue! Yes, because everybody, good morning, Blue Teddy. Good morning, Blue Teddy. Now this is Beth and Carlene. Together, epic rap battle. Begin! No,
Not a rap battle. It'd be a battle, but not a rap battle.
And Calvin. And Nick, you totally rock. I don't know how I totally rock. I am a Hawaiian shirt clad, blessed lunatic running around people who are infinitely my better, just trying to give them a footstool to get up to the next level so I could feel I made a difference in this messed up world we live in. But thank you. Carl tried to keep Calvin busy, but he wanted mommy love.
Yeah.
Ooh. Is that your your alt name? That's Mommy Love. Anyhow, keeps all the kitties happy. You get all the adoration, Donna. Well, everyone does here. I'm signing up for Kelly's room. Woohoo! I haven't found the right denomination either, Nick. Though right now I'm leaning towards unmarked 20s. No.
It's okay. It's
Brian,
not as quick.
Brian, when and I want Donna to go after this. That's fine. But when I shared the quote from Pale Rider, the preacher going, "Well, sir, that's true, but man can either serve God or money. Mammon being money, not both. It wasn't to get you to serve mammon. Dang it! Proceed. Please proceed, Donna.
Who's next?
Uh, sorry, it clicked. Apparently, I have no excuses. I have writer's block way too often. I'm gonna keep walking. This is me keeping. Something Ted and I needed to look into for Uncle Carl. Nick should have known what he was getting into today. I do. Dawn is, I'm freaking dying. Well, yep. No, you know what? Don't read aloud. Guess what? You're not the boss of me. Michaela once told me that only uh, wusses,
Kitty
we'll
cats.
say, need a safe word, and I have a video to prove it. Well, I'm going to say this. Michaela is so full of BS, her eyes are turning brown. Safety, whilst engaging in spicier content and exploration, is crucial. Communication is crucial, and I will take it deadly serious. Because everybody should have the right to boff how they want to, as long as it's safe and consensual. And a safe word means it is no longer consensual, and you stop. So if she has an issue with that, she is more than welcome to take it up with me at her earliest convenience. Anyway, he said, "I'm so sorry." LOL, it's okay, Nick. I laughed hard. I laughed so hard I kicked the hail pail over. Hope it was empty. Okay, we have blasted through our comments. We are an hour 42 in. What do you want to do, Donna? How are you doing on all this?
Oh, I'm doing fine.
Okay. Let's see. We've talked
But I
about your
think
new.
that's about all people could take of me in one sitting.
That's up to you. I don't. I think they were just giving me a chance to catch up. And we also don't have our Facebook crowd, so I
Yeah.
expect this to be pretty well received in the review from that, and that's not your fault. But is there anything you want to discuss? Anything you want to ask either the chat or me, or anything you want to put out into the ether?
I can't think of anything offhand.
All right. Well, if you're ready to call it, then I think I'll call it at about an hour 43. Nice short show. You're welcome to come on back just about any time you want. You are an absolute breath. Wait. You all opened my green room mind. Well, we did. Apparently it was fun. Apparently we were funny enough. They were laughing so hard they couldn't type for a while. And this, I figure we'll be getting out at about the 2 hour line, because as soon as I start to say, okay, guys, thank you. Okay, be good, everyone. Wow.
Hey,
Thank you,
I'm
Kelly.
always good. I just don't always behave.
Good has such delightful meanings. Do you mean morally or by skill? Anyhow, please, guys, don't. Let me throw a brief sort of ad up. I want to at least put up the Rembrandt stratagem for Kelly Carlisle, because she has really added so much spice to the conversation. And hi, Joe. Welcome to the
Hey,
club.
Joe.
Howdy.
Do you have any questions for Donna while you're here?
No, I think everything was pretty much answered.
Well, see? So you guys think you've plumbed the depths of Donna's mysteries. Well, I suppose we have in what can be discussed on a morning show.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I have the right guest who tempts me to. I wish I could do a.
Spicier show.
I wish I could do like an after dark program, but I try to keep everything where if my son sees me what I'm doing, he may ask a few questions, but I wouldn't feel terrible with him watching, and that's why I've actually left some programs. But I want to thank Donna for coming on the show. I want to thank Joe for making the show possible.
Yes,
Oh,
thank
and
you.
see what I mean? The chats, they start happening.
Here we go again.
Donna, loved listening to you today.
Thank you, Kelly.
Or be good at it, Kelly. See, somebody else understands. Well, on this Wednesday, good. Okay, Carl's saying good show, which means we can usually say a good goodbye because Carl usually throws the flag to let us know we've crossed the checkered flag, and I'm sure
No, the
Donna's got
kitty
some
cats are going to be saying, "Hey, it's time for food."
awesome. Today's been awesome. Yeah, that's what I was figuring. So, guys, thank you all for coming out.
Thank you, Don.
I Donna, thank you so much. Thank you for coming by, Joe, as always. I couldn't resist just popping you on because I'm like,
Yeah.
aha, Joe is there. His background is not an office. I am safe. And plus, I need. Whew, it got a little warm in here. Has the vapors. So before I find myself a chaise lounge to cool and calm myself from all these palpitations, I'm gonna say. Thank you for coming on, Donna. Is there anything you want to plug? A last minute promotion?
Well, as I say, my last book, Waiting on a Star, love story, waitress meets TV star. Things happen.
See, I love that. Things happen. There will be a little. And have a lovely stream. Thanks, everybody. Hard. Thanks for being in the chat, Brian. Oh, before I go, I want to bust my buddy Brian K. Morris out. He's saying good
Uh-oh.
show. Yep, he thinks he's getting out. Brian is worried he would be disruptive in my chat, so occasionally he just lurks. No, 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 no. No, you originally made this mess. If you're around here, you get in, as Donna might appreciate, get in the mud with everybody else. But, semi-inside joke. Now, guys, I love y'all. I want you to keep writing, keep creating, because if you do, you can fix it, you can improve it. See what they do to me?
Oh, episode 13 live on Villa. Thank you, Michaela.
Thank you, Michaela, because your fans away. Or check out her profile on indcd.org/about-Donna-Carlene. And dude, I just proved my point this morning. You are incredible, and my chat is much more valuable with you in it. That's why your little hat, your face is on every one of these episodes, because you are loved and appreciated and needed, and don't you ever forget it, Brian K. Morris. The rest of you, get writing, create something, finish it, publish it, and I hope you get money for it, because we need to support our creators. I will see you all. Oh, I'll see anybody who hops
See you
over to
Friday.
Research Studios Thursday.